What's up, guys? I'm James Baney, and I'm getting ready to review episode 3 of The Bad Batch, Replacements. So this episode kind of takes place in two separate areas. They're kind of flip-flopping between the different stories. You got the Bad Batch who crash land on the planet and moving the story forward with Omega as she becomes more of the Bad Batch. And then the other side is this whole like look at Crosshair and the recruits and Tarkin and all that this kind of stuff that has to do with like the fate of the clones. So let's take a look at that. We've got this character, Rampart, that we're introduced to. And I guess his whole thing is going to be that, you know, he believes that the clones aren't being... are old news or whatever, and that what would be superior is to bring in people who have willingly recruited to the Empire, and that will be better. Which I think we kind of know as fans, that's the direction they go. So you're like, okay, how are they going to explain this? All right, let's see this play out. Let's see the way that it goes. The only thing that's kind of confusing to me is I thought they were making Tarkin that character. It seemed to me like they were making Tarkin a character who maybe was never really for the use of the clones, and now that he's in charge, or now that we've switched over to the Empire, he can very clearly be like, no, here's my plan. It's these recruits, and we're phasing out the clones or something like that. But with the introduction of Rampart, it seems like it's more Rampart's idea, and that Tarkin is someone who could be convinced that that would be the direction to go. You know, oh, all right, Clone Force 99 was then able to do something that I wanted them to do. Let's see if these new recruits can do what needs to be done, if you will. But it's weird because, you know, after they complete the mission, Tarkin calls them the clones. He calls them a cost prohibitive relic of the past. And I'm like, well, they're still being used. So that's an odd phrase to talk about something that's current, that they're a relic of the past. But the thing is like, if Tarkin's already made up his mind, then why is Rampart needing to like convince him? I don't know. I found that strange. But even more so than kind of Tarkin's perspective on this, I actually found the whole process of the show's explanation of why we need recruits over clones to be kind of clunky as well, which really comes down to, okay, Clone Force 99 failed on this. We sent them to Onderon. They didn't complete the mission that we wanted them to do. So instead, we're going to send these recruits, but put one of Clone Force 99 in charge. Okay. So then they go down there, and they were actually going to fail the mission because they were unable to do what needed to be done. But then it was the clone, the enhanced clone, who's the leader, who actually took charge and did what needed to be done. And then when they came back, it was like this dude, Rampart, he got a promotion to Admiral because he was right. The recruits did what they needed to do. It's like, no, they didn't. The recruits ended up being able to be persuaded, so maybe that's the angle. But it does feel weird that this mission was only a success because of the clone and not because of the recruit. So, I don't know, maybe this is a storyline they're wanting to go down, like, oh, we think the recruits are good, but they're not, but I don't know. We already know they are. We already know that's the direction they're going to go. So I think it felt to me like they were trying to convince us this is why recruits are better than clones, but it was the clone who really got the job done. Very confusing to me, but I don't know. Hopefully, if you guys think I'm wrong, or if you want to, kind of shed some light on that, I've been wrong even on this show before as far as like why I think maybe something's happening. So please put something in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about that process and switching over, and if they did a good job explaining, even in this one little episode, why it makes more sense to use recruits than it does clones, especially when you're on the verge of creating like enhanced clones. I don't know, although they don't follow orders, so maybe that's it. I want to go back to Omega's side of this whole thing. The Bad Batch crash landing on the planet. Actually, the Bad Batch really doesn't have anything to do in this episode. They crash land, they look at the ship, they go out to kind of investigate, or get the part back. But at the end of the day, it really was like Omega that did all of this stuff. She wanted to go out. She wanted to help. And when Hunter got knocked out, which was convenient, she was able to overcome her fears and participate as one of the members and get the ship, the part back. I'm hoping there's maybe some payoff with some of these things. Like, I don't know why it was so important to know that this creature was like scary at first, but it turns out it was not really that bad. Or, I was thinking it was going to be like protecting its children or something, but that didn't end up happening. And why it was important to note that it was like a power eater, like it was kind of hunting that part because it was kind of feeding off of the power and stuff, because that really didn't play into the story either. It really just came down to like Omega was scared at first and she was able to overcome her fear in order to better the group and kind of, pull off her own little personal mission there. And it's neat that she has a place where she's becoming more well accepted within the Bad Batch itself. So I didn't have any problems with that. I like that a lot. The last thing I want to say about this episode is just that it's sometimes so shocking how serious they get in like this kid show, right? Because it's Star Wars and there's a war and people are dying left and right, but it is pretty crazy when you have a very specific scene where like one of the characters says, "Hey, can you give me any information?" "No, you can't." Boom, dead. Like just point blank, like murders an innocent person. And then right after that, you have like a group of people who even more so are innocent because they're, just civilians or whatever. And you have a character like Crosshair who not only kills his teammate because he wanted to save the civilians, but then you had so clearly this fear from the other recruits that, they were going to die or whatever it was. They just like willingly murder these other people. I don't know. It seems kind of crazy to me that, like in a weird way, I think they're coming off that that's all bad. Like you don't want to do that this is a bad scenario, but it is kind of interesting that like this group was led to take care of this situation. They found out that it was, innocent people and all this, but they just murdered those innocent people. And then they come back and it's like, congratulations, good job. That's exactly what we wanted. I don't know. It's like a kid show. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I thought that was kind of nuts. But overall, yeah, that is kind of my basic reaction to the episode. Like I said, it's split into two parts. I like Omega stuff. I was fine with that. That's okay. That's just an episode, that leads to that character growing a lot. And then the other side is I think we've learned a lot about Crosshair, specifically Omega, like, saying, doubling down on his innocence. You know what I mean? I don't know why you guys are mad. He doesn't know what he's doing. So it's weird because you're getting that, but you're also getting him very clearly being the bad guy in this scenario. So I'm really interested to see where Crosshair is going to go down the line. But the overall, the one negative I have on the show is I felt like that passing the torch from the clones to the recruits, I hope that gets explained a little bit better than what they did in this episode. It just felt very, I don't know, like we know where the destination is going to be, so let's just get there instead of trying to explain it with any nuance or trying to explain as far as like, you know, how could you have this perfect weapon, which are these clones, these enhanced super soldiers kind of thing. How could recruits be better? I'm interested. And then it was just kind of like, they just told us recruits are better. And it's like, well, I don't know that they are, but okay. You know, that's the story, but that's it. That is my review of the episode. And if you guys want to, if you want to say something, whether you like the review or you didn't like the review and you want to, like, maybe I'm wrong on something or maybe you have a different point of view, put that stuff in the comments, but not before you give the episode a like. That would really help us out if you gave the video a like and possibly shared it on social media or whatever you guys wanted to do to kind of help spread the word about Star Wars Newsnet. That would be very thankful. And until episode 4, I'm James Baney. See you guys later.